The Living Zen-podcast is a gift from the members and associates of the Victoria Zen Centre to you. If you enjoy it, please be sure to let your friends know about Living Zen. If you'd like to support our community, download the Living Zen-podcast app for iPod, iPhone, and Android. One of the most meaningful ways to show your support is by becoming a part of our Sangha as an associate. Your commitment of $10 a month will ensure that offerings like the Living Zen podcast and our online e-Zendo will continue to be available around the world to everyone with an interest in truly living Zen. To become an associate, please visit our website at zenwest.ca and click on Become an Associate. Many more Zen Talks are available for purchase on iTunes and Amazon.com. Just search for Venerable Eshu Martin. These talks are also available for free on our website to all members and associates of the Victoria Zen Centre. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. Who are you? When I ask, who are you? What do you use to answer? Where do you hang on? Where do you put your weight? What is it that you depend upon to respond? Each of us, when we're asked, who are you? We press against something. Maybe it's our job. Maybe it's our partner, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. Sometimes it's our children. Maybe it's our religion or spiritual practice. And sometimes maybe our race. But the question we ask, who are you, in Zen practice is without relying, without calling up some other thing. Who are you? Each of us in our lives plays many roles. Parent, partner, employee, boss, all these different roles. And we ask, is this who we are? From the time that we're very, very young, we engage a whole lot of our energy into figuring out who we are, figuring out what things we like, what things we don't like, what things we do, what things we don't do. More and more little places to rest, places to lean, things to use to identify ourselves. And in many ways, this can be a good practice. Each of us, I think it's very important for us all to be able to identify the roles that we play. The problem that we run into in our lives is that we make this critical mistake of thinking that these roles that we play, these masks that we wear in our day-to-day lives, constitute who we are. For me, the image that struck me earlier is you often hear about, maybe not often, thankfully, children who have been abused and raised in very small rooms, in basements, or even closets. And for these children, these individuals, their whole cosmos is this very small space. And to me, this is very much like our human Buddha nature, our original nature, when we take ourselves to be this thing, this role, this particular aspect, when we mistake that for our whole self. I often think of how difficult, of how utterly terrifying it must be for these children when they are brought into the light, when the door of the closet or the basement is opened, and they realize the vastness of this cosmos, of this world. When we engage in Zen practice, it's all well and good to talk about realizing our true nature. It's all very nice to talk about realizing Buddhahood or awakening. But we have to understand that these two things are not so far apart. They're not so different. For all of our lives, we have spent all of our energy putting ourselves into closets of various shapes and sizes. I am this. I am that. I do this. I do that. I don't like this and I like that. I would never go there and I would always go there. Boxes, closets, prisons of every shape and size. As we begin to engage in practice, more and more of these confinements, more and more of these restrictions are revealed to be what they are. Masks, temporary abodes, places where we rest for a moment, that are convenient, that are comfortable, that make us feel safe. But the more we invest in these, the more we take these as who we are, the more they become prisons, the more they confine us, the more they restrict us. And as we practice, we become more and more able to see this. And it becomes harder and harder for us, knowing our capacity is much bigger, knowing that our nature is fundamentally limitless, to maintain this life of imprisonment. And this is where we face a tremendous challenge in practice, because we are confronted with this dilemma. Do we stay in the prison? Do we stay in the box that we have created for ourselves, knowing that it's a box, but it's comfortable, but it's familiar, it's safe? Or do we allow that box to drop away? And do we step forward into the vastness of who we truly are? The limitlessness of manifesting our true nature. To answer, to open our mouths and spit out a reply to this question, who are you? This is the easy way. I do this, I do that. I'm so-and-so's father, I'm so-and-so's son. Easy, easy, easy. Bodhidharma, the first patriarch of Zen in China, was asked this very question by the emperor of Liang. Who is this that stands before me? And Bodhidharma replied, there is no knowing. Beyond being able to give just an answer, How is it that we hold that in the end there is no resting place? There is no limitation. There is no stopping our true nature, who we truly are. To awaken to this, to manifest this, to take up the great courage it requires to receive and embrace, to accept, and to manifest the limitless capacity of our original nature is the practice of life, is the practice of Zen. When we come together, it is not to maintain a form. It is not to engage in a practice. It is for no other reason than to manifest our true nature. Thanks for listening to the Living Zen podcast. If you follow Living Zen through iTunes, I would very much appreciate it if you would take a moment to let me know what you think about it by rating or reviewing the podcast, so that new listeners can also hear what you have to say. Thank you for your time and for your support.